Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Chandra Zas and Odyssey, Food and Mood, Heal Your Gut. I'm continuing on this month with the theme of relationships, and this week I'm going to talk about love. Love is an emotion. It is a feeling. Love is a physical vibration in our body. And just like every other emotion that we have, it is caused and created in our minds by our thoughts. The thoughts that we think create our feelings. So the same goes for love. Our thoughts, the way that we're thinking, the thoughts that we're thinking, create the feeling of love. All right. I have a little story that I told you guys, I think in another podcast, but I just want to tell it again because it was such an impactful story for me that I'm going to share it again. So it revolves around a little apple core, a little apple stem that my partner has for many years left around. He loves eating apples. He eats a lot of apples, and he used to leave little apple stems everywhere. And I had this story in my head that he didn't respect my time and that he was leaving them around for me to clean up, and that he thought that I was just this housewife that would clean up after him. I had this whole narrative, this whole story of what this little apple stem meant every time he left it somewhere, which was often. And I was like telling myself this story and creating all of these really negative feelings towards my partner. I was building this case around how he doesn't love me and how he doesn't respect me, and this big story, and creating all these quite negative emotions. And when I learned about this concept that the stories in our head are creating the feelings that we have, I decided to apply it to this apple stem. And I said, okay, so if this apple stem is not causing my bad feelings, if it's the thoughts in my head, what are the thoughts in my head? And I realized it's this story that I have, that I'm making this apple stem mean this thing. What if I told a different story? Could I apply this and make this work? And it shocked me. It was within like one or two apple stems that I looked at the apple stem and I felt the negative energy come up, and I was like, wait a minute, what story am I telling myself? And I was like, what story do I want to tell myself? How could I feel love? Is it possible that I could feel love from this apple stem that has created all of this pain for me? And I said, you know what? I'm going to decide that every time he leaves this apple stem around, that it's a little love note and he's telling me that he loves me. And so I just flipped this story, which doesn't always happen. It's not so easy to always flip a story so fast in your head, but I did with this apple stem, and literally like within two apple stems, I stopped feeling the horrible negative feelings that I felt around these apple stems, and I kind of started smiling. I was like, oh, he loves me. And it wasn't, it shifted the way that I felt, like almost instantaneously. And for me, it really cemented this concept that it is the stories in our head, the thoughts in our head, what we're making something mean, that's creating our feelings. So what little things in your life are creating creating pain, emotional pain for you? And what is the story that's between the apple stem and the feeling? What is that story that's making us actually feel that feeling? And what about choosing love? What about realizing that we have the option to make things mean different things? We can tell the story from different perspectives. It's not the apple stem that's causing the pain. It's the story that I had in my head. So I know that this week is Valentine's week, and I know that love is one of the most ultimate, best feelings that all humans want to feel and seek and look for. And so I want to encourage you to look in your life at who you want to love a little bit more, like what relationships, what areas do you want to feel more love in your life, and how can you shift the thoughts, the stories, what you're making something mean in your head so that you can feel more love. It's cool, right? It's a little trippy. It's not normal speak. It's not what we're taught about emotions. It's extremely empowering to realize that it's not the things outside of us. It's not the apple stems that are creating and determining our emotions. It's actually the thoughts that we're thinking in our head that's determining our emotions. And where can we start writing that story and start telling those stories that create the feelings that we want to create in life, like love. Isn't love amazing? Love is always an option. We can always choose to love someone based on the way that we think about them, based on the stories that we let our brains tell, that we decide to write. One more quick thing on love. So I want to connect it to gut health. So when we are in a state of love, when we're feeling love, when love is coursing through our body, it's really hard to feel stressed. And we have a lot of really good hormones going on. We have oxytocin and we have low cortisol levels. So when we're feeling love, when we're practicing generating love, then we are healing our body. We're allowing our body to be in a state of relaxed healing. So if stress is causing inflammation, causing cortisol levels, if stress is damaging our tissues and making it hard for our body to heal, then love is the opposite. Love is the place that is really a healing place for our body and our gut health to be. And when we feel love, we often make really good choices for ourselves. When we love ourselves, we do things that are healthy for ourselves. So gut health and love go hand in hand. All right. Have a beautiful week. Happy Valentine's Day. Love.